And I wanted to ask as well about the so-called Franco-German plan for sort of EU reform, as it was dubbed. Obviously I follow EU news and policy for my job, so I know it, but our viewers may not. Can you give us a brief sort of almost layman's explanation of what it is and what it means for Albania?
I will try to do that. Because I feel it's important that we make very clear how all these more technical aspects affect the daily life of your listeners, of the citizens of Albania. And what the initiative that you're referring to has to do with internal reforms in the EU. We are now 27 member states. With the possible accession of the Western Balkan states, plus the 3 other states I mentioned, we would be 36 member states. And it is very clear that the decision-making process within the EU has to be reformed as well. So what we want to do, some people are a little bit afraid that we want to condition the accession to the internal reforms. And of course, everyone knows that internal reforms are very, very difficult, in particular when they need treaty changes.
Yes.
Treaty changes, we have had several experiences with a European constitution that had to be revised, and treaty changes in the early 2000s that were rejected by referendum in France and in the Netherlands. So I think everyone is very careful not to go into that direction. But we feel that within the present rules of the EU, there are meaningful changes possible that will enable the EU actually to perform and to make decisions, forward-looking decisions, also without treaty change. And to that regard, it is necessary, first of all, to start a discussion within the EU on this process. My foreign minister has, with this objective, with this intent, commissioned a paper of a Franco-German study group to draft proposal, but really sort of very practically sort of proposals how to change, how to reform the decision-making process within the EU. And basically, we're talking about getting away from a majority, from a unanimity process, where one member state can block and bilateralize or sort of Europeanize bilateral issues. I think Albania and in particular Northern Macedonia have some experience in that, and this is something we want to avoid for the future. So this group has presented a paper, made very practical, and Germany is willing actually to give up part of the veto power that it has right now because of the unanimity. We think all maybe more important also for the smaller member states, we should really look for ways where we get to majority decision making, perhaps step by step in increasing number of areas, but get away from unanimity, which is blocking in many cases the way forward.